He said can be done by 3:30. Hello, welcome to Canadian Misfits or CANUCK Misfits. Today I'm here with my compadres, Jason Esty, the Cosmic Truth Authority, and Keck Best is Fighting Hate 101. And I'm Ellie's Place. I'm cussing Ellie's Place. I'm Ellie's Palace. And I'm Elle Rosetti. And we are here today to talk about the truckers. Now, you will notice I am an avatar because I had a really bad accident. My face is all messed up. No, I'm only kidding. I'm having camera difficulties today, so I had to use an avatar in order to do this broadcast because the screen kept jumping around and doing weird shit. I don't know why. So until I figure that out, I'm going avatar. So since we had no viewers, you want to start, Jason? What you saw in Ottawa? You did a lot of speeches in Ottawa and stuff. We got 2 viewers now.
All right, to the viewers, Ottawa was sensational. It was stupendous. It was epic. We're starting that bottoms up, almost like revolution in Canada, finally. And there was a lot of honking, as you know, going on in Ottawa. Honk, honk. It's awesome, man.
What was the mood like?
Super, super positive. Lots of amazing positive energy. I said in one of my speeches with the bullhorn, as you may know, that I said I've never seen so many beautiful Canadian smiles in all my life. In my 49 years, I tell the ladies 39, but anyway, no, it was an honor and again privilege to be there amongst amazing Canadian patriots, and yeah, it's something else, man. And I'm really proud of each of every one of them and the truckers. And I went with Frank Gotts, amazing patriot in himself, Ron and Dustin, his buddies, and Frank's girlfriend, Caroline. And then I stayed at Jane Scarf's the second evening, and we had great talk on the Canadian Bill of Rights and other important issues and what's going on in Ottawa. And absolutely nothing bad to report. Anything bad you hear from mainstream media, what you do, it's basically all lies, you know.
Well, we know that, yeah. Jack, anything to say?
Not at the moment. He's talking about Ottawa.
Where the fuck have you been?
I'm in Hamilton.
Have you been?
What?
Where have you been? Yes, he was just talking about Ottawa for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, well, I wasn't in Ottawa, so I don't really have anything to add to that.
No, do you have any challenges? Like, how dare you say people?
We rocked it in Hamilton. CHCH News showed up. They lied about us. They lied about the PPC. I think they completely left out the fact that the police blocked the truckers from following their path.
The cops were really well behaved at my times in Ottawa. Not last weekend, but obviously the weekend before when I was out there. And I talked to the cops, so that was good. And my interesting moment was I saw a lot of people would have seen this. I could have swore it was a helicopter going by and said, fuck Trudeau, of course. But it was actually a drone. It's cool.
Cool.
The cops in Hamilton were possibly acting from their higher ups in absurd ways, but the police were peaceful in Hamilton. The rally as a whole was peaceful.
Good.
We here in St. Thomas held a convoy of our own of cars and pickup trucks and SUVs. We had about 40 or 50, and we had no incidents. We didn't see any police. No problems. We actually went around the whole town twice, up the main drag and then back down Wellington. So it was a good. And then we went to City Hall, and I have a video of it on my platform, on my page. All went well. No interactions with the law at all.
And we know that, or I know that in Calgary or Adri, I know that Anne was at one of them. I don't know which one. but Calgary was also representing yesterday.
All
For the
right.
truckers. Now, what about the money? The $10 million.
Well, whoever doesn't claim their money back, it's going to go to Antifa and Black Lives Matter and Planned Parenthood.
Well, we don't have a Planned Parenthood in Canada, do we?
They'll accept money from either country.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. I guess GoFundMe isn't just strictly a Canadian thing.
No, it's an American outfit.
But they're trying someone new, and I can't remember the name. If people want to donate to the trucker, they started a new
platform or
platform.
something like that. Yeah.
What's it called? Say that again.
I think it's donate, drop, and then go or something like that. It's the new one. I just think it's another GoFundMe.
Just don't make sure truckers don't let Pat King get in charge of any GoFundMe or any stuff like that.
He's got one going too. He's got one going. There's 7 or 8 different ones going. So they're all raking it in.
Did you block me from the comments, Elle?
No, I can't comment either.
Oh, so people can't comment today?
Nobody has yet. Nobody's watching.
Did you know it's an actual fact that Pat King had put out a video? I didn't see it, but Jane Scarf was describing it to me, and other people knew he was pretending. He actually wanted you to think he was conning you that he was driving a real truck, and there was no bumps. He wasn't moving like a truck driver would in their trucks.
Yeah.
And there were other reasons that you could know it was a fake video, and I guess truckers would have seen that right away and understood. And either they told Pat King, you better take it down, or Pat King's handlers. And just as I was about to expose and show that video on Jane Scarf's TV, Jane just went back to the video and it was taken down. So anyway, just to let you know what Pat King was up to a little bit there. Unfortunate, but whatever.
Yeah,
in the end, won't matter.
He's got a lot of people mad at him. I know that.
And well, they should. Interesting.
Yeah. But as for the convoy, I think I got some videos in, and I'm going to be doing a video today. But there's people working behind the scenes that say, don't worry about it. They've got it under control. So we can only trust that they do, and hope everything's okay. They're lawyers and stuff like that. So I'll be releasing that video later. I don't want to talk too much about it, but apparently they say they're working behind the scenes and they got everything under control. Now, I don't know about the money, but that's just about in regards to the protest.
I hear that they have things under control, but I haven't physically seen a bouncy castle. How do I know that's just a rumor?
I have video of 2 people that are involved in the convoy. A trucker and his girlfriend, and
he can confirm that they do indeed have a bouncy castle.
What? Who the fuck?
A bouncy castle.
No, they don't have a damn bouncy castle.
I knew they were lying. Yeah, I don't trust these organizers. I heard there was a bouncy castle.
Unless they got one there for the kids. I don't think the adults.
What about hockey? They got hockey?
I guess so. They're good enough hockey sticks. Unless Canadian Tire is blocking anyone from the convoy from buying hockey sticks. That could be. Look what Tim Hortons did, right?
What did Tim Hortons did?
They were refusing to sell truckers coffee or donuts who were in the convoy.
Really? Can they legally do that?
You watch my videos, man? I watch yours. That's totally bunk.
Well, wait a minute. How long ago did you put this video up? I don't...
Like last week.
Oh. What was it? No, I didn't see it.
I'll send you the damn link. Jeez.
Okay.
Start watching my videos.
So, no, and I've seen it with my own eyes when people said if you're at that rally, but you can't just say, oh, you were supporting a political cause I don't like. And that's why I'm refusing his service. That would be a violation of our human rights, would it not?
They're a private company.
So they can just, if your policy is Muslims scare you, you can keep Muslims out of your store?
Yeah.
Interesting.
If that was a policy, yeah.
This is new normal, though, right? Old normal, I couldn't do that?
No. You still got to realize you're living in a woke world, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's no longer common sense. It's no longer rule of law. It's a woke world, and they're getting away with all kinds of shit. Look what the tow truck drivers did to Ottawa fucking cops in city. Oh, go move those trucks. Oh, I'm sorry, we all got COVID.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
That was awesome. One for our side, you know.
And shout out to the military for not, taking to the streets against, bouncy castles, if they are indeed a thing.
Let's wait and see what they do first, because they said they will not get involved. But
no, the Canadian military won't get involved. You don't have to worry about that. I know that for a fact.
You're saying don't count on crazy happening in 2022, Jason. Really? Anything can happen.
No. There will be no Canadian military violating our rights on the streets. Mark my words. You don't have to worry and waste energy on that thought process.
And how do you know that?
Because I have military friends, and as I told you before, I just might have been involved in an unacknowledged special access project myself. After all, Kellyanne Wolf even tried to find out my education, and she can't find it. There's a reason for that. But we won't
have one. I was just kidding.
Well, okay, but now I suspect you. I didn't suspect you before.
Okay.
Are you uneducated?
Let's say people can't find anything after, I don't know, grade 12, I believe.
Okay.
I don't know how to follow that up either, Al.
Anyway, let's switch topics here, man.
Let's get, which is the trucking rally in Ottawa.
How about Queen's Park? You guys gonna get around to that too?
Yeah, I heard you gave an epic speech. I haven't seen it yet, but apparently it's a thing. No, I heard. How many people were there? Do you think?
Well, I'm gonna go by what an older Asian man told me. He's pretty intelligent.
Wait, I got a CBC article right in front of me. It says 130, 150 people. Keep talking.
Close. There was an older Asian man, and he was going by, he kept saying he was counting by the tens. And I believe he meant like 10,000 every so often. And he estimated 50,000. Now, maybe he's off, but there was certainly tens and tens of thousands.
Well, he must be if the CBC is only recording a couple dozen people.
No, tens of thousands. That's the honest. It was unbelievable. Flowing all over the place, man. Way down in the north end, they couldn't even get close to the front. Just everywhere, and filing in every. But at 11 o'clock, that report from whatever that news organization you just said, which one was it?
CBC.
Which organization?
CBC.
Oh, the state-run media.
Okay, state-run media. At 11 o'clock, that would have been an accurate statement, apparently. There wasn't very many people there. Maybe 100, 200 people. But it sure changed after that.
I gotta stop questioning our state-run media. I keep forgetting they have my interests at heart because, I'm a citizen and stuff.
Yeah. And it never ceases to amaze me, those cowards from lamestream media. They could have wicked stories, man, covering, as you know, our speeches, but they will not do it as far as I know.
And you saw what speakers did you see when you were there?
When I got there and was rolling live, you can hear it on my live. I was listening to the young woman from Druthers. Say her name, Keck. I can't believe
Zoe.
it. Thank you, Zoe. I'm sorry, Zoe. I don't know if you ever hear this live, but if you do, I apologize. I just forgot your name for a second. She was speaking, and as usual, she was quite eloquent and very passionate. And I believe at the moment I heard her, she was talking about the mass in school and double mass and how ridiculous it is. And we had there was a little precious I'm guessing she was all of maybe 7 years old. And God love her, she got up there. You could tell maybe she was somewhat nervous with the huge audience, but she was able to structure a couple words together. And the word she said the most was freedom. And she got the audience to scream out freedom a bunch of times back and forth. And Danny DeSantis, my buddy, had the microphone up to her mouth, you know, to help her speak. And it was just really, really cute and amazing and to see and watch and hear, you know, it's great.
Cool.
And Lamont was running the show, I hear.
To my shock and amazement, he was.
Did you see Q there at all?
Q?
Q.
Who's Q?
His sidekick. I'll take that as you don't know who Q is.
No. I know his other sidekick is Matthew Haley that I have some questions about, but we won't get into it today. But I don't know Q, I guess. So.
Yeah, Matthew's a character. He's put a lot of work in. I'll give him that. You know, and he's definitely faced some challenges in terms of courage. I mean, there's a time in that you have to face what's happening and either face it head on and retreat, and he definitely faced it head on. So well done, Lamont, and well done to Matthew Haley.
You think so, huh?
Mental health is visible. Oh, absolutely, I think so. That's why I said it.
Is it possible with Matthew? Never. I'm not going to go there.
Why not? Elle's not talking. I don't even think she's in the room.
Yeah, I'm here.
Let's just say that with controlled opposition out there, hypothetical, that some of their organizations and whether it be mental health or whatever, sometimes can be a nice cover story as well. And remember,
hypothetically,
and let me just put it out this way, you guys already know this, that a lot of organizers are controlled. As you know, the best way to oppose opposition is lead opposition, as a great Russian politician, I forget his name, said in so many words. And definitely we've had organizers that they talk a good game at times, but listen carefully to what they really say. And are they change agents? Are they controlled opposition? I think I have my answers on some of these people, but let's just put it vaguely that way today. Yeah. And what's his name? Lamont. I was very nice and cordial to him. We've only talked maybe one other time. He knows who I am. He introduced me by first and last name, and I wanted to make sure I got obviously a chance to speak. He knew not to sabotage and he knew to give me a chance to speak, and not just once, thankfully twice, because I wanted to follow shortly after that precious child was able to speak in front of the crowd and talk about freedom. So I just there was a farmer, by the way, also that went up there after the child, and he reiterated that, you know, it's about the truckers, and we got the farmers, and that you need farmers and truckers or you won't survive. I think he even said, obviously, you know, at one point in the speech, which is true. And then right after him, I made sure I got one last chance to speak. Lamont said, you know, I'll give you a minute, you know, and all this. So I probably talked 2 minutes or more. And I talked about our precious children, that's why we're here, right, everyone? And just basically said that we're going to give our children a bright future. And then I quoted the evil Adolf Hitler. You know why I did that?
I don't want to speculate.
Because the evil Adolf Hitler said, and I said in my speech, through clever constant application of propaganda, you can convince people that paradise is hell, and you could do it the other way around and make people consider the most wretched life paradise. And then I asked the audience, as I did before a long time ago, Do we want our precious children to grow up in a wretched life thinking it's paradise? And of course, the audience screams, no. So I just thought, hopefully that was an important message to put forward that day, yesterday.
I think that the other reason why the primary reason why you show the picture of Adolf Hitler is that it shocks people.
Oh, but I didn't show the picture of Hitler Keck yesterday. It's time to watch my speech, pal. Watch my live.
Don't defend an accusation I'm not making. I'm saying it's a reason to show people a picture of Adolf Hitler. It shocks people.
I agree, pal.
You want people to get your message, don't you?
Mm-hmm. No, thank you for that. Yeah, no.
Guys, I mentioned this could happen, and it just happened. I got about 5 minutes left before my phone dies.
Oh, no. Keck.
I can watch you on my laptop. I can comment in the comment section at wrap it up.
Well,
Keep it to an hour, but I can't do anything about it. My power is going to die.
Chicken shit misfit.
What are you talking? I can't do anything about it. My phone is dying.
Before this.
Oh my God. Do you want to do this live? Okay, to anyone watching this, I'm sorry. Please don't tune out. But we're going to talk about irrelevant stuff for a minute that have nothing to do with truckers. But in answer to your question, Al, I explained to you, I'm having technical difficulties. My phone is not holding a charge. It's not charging.
Oh.
Hi, truckers. Any truckers out there? Thank you for cherishing our path to freedom, as I said in my intro on the speech, and celebrating humanity. And I thank the truckers for showing absolute, resolute courage, of course, and conviction.
How much anti-convoy rhetoric are you seeing, Al?
I see mostly positive stuff, but I do have some videos of some negative stuff.
That's what I'm trying to focus on. What negativity? I saw the one guy yelling out all the maskers, or he's yelling at the one truck driver because he couldn't sleep with all the honking.
Well, yeah, there's that. Antifa showed up.
I haven't seen any video with Antifa in it.
And they're yelling out trans rights or human rights and all this bullshit. What does that have to do with the convoy?
Justin Trudeau put out a press release banning the racism and the misogyny and the Islamophobia in the Freedom Group. And he added transphobia. And I have no idea why. It made sense to throw it in there, right? Like that was so hilarious.
In our movement, fuck him.
What transphobia is going on in the Ottawa movement that Justin Trudeau is seeing?
Nothing.
And is it what he's seeing, this blatant transphobia? Is that why he's not going to the table to talk to these people? Because as I understand it, that's the explanation that he gave us.
Well, I'm transgender. I was transgender, and I haven't faced any problems over the convoy.
Well, that's because you're not in Ottawa. How do you know that if you got to Ottawa, they wouldn't tear you limb from limb?
Because I tear them a new one first. In heels and a mini skirt. Don't fucking.
Yeah, I don't think they're transphobic.
No, they're
and
not.
I'm still waiting for confirmation on the bouncy castle.
Okay.
I think Justin Trudeau is just flat out lying as to why he's not facing the truckers.
He's a coward. He's got coward 19. It's the news.
Yeah, but it's one thing to be a coward. It's another thing to flat out lie to the point where it gets so ridiculous. What transphobia? I haven't even seen a trans person, right? Of all the rallies I've seen, I haven't seen one trans person in the entire crowd. And yet people are being transphobic somehow.
Yeah.
And people are believing it.
Yeah. All the woolly sheep are
buying I talked to a counter protester yesterday. And I'm going to have the interview out, Steve, if you're watching this with a V. But yeah, what is your problem with this? And he's like, well, it's all the racisms and white supremacies and stuff. And I'm like, what are you talking about? But he believes it, right?
It's excuse me. Has Lori left any comments? Is she listening to this part of our conversation by any chance?
Nobody has left.
Nobody's watching us right now, brother. Nobody.
Oh, okay.
No, we got two people.
Oh,
no one's leaving comments. So I don't know if they can or not.
can they type freedom in the comment section and then you can say their name?
The two people that are on live, please type in freedom or something, and let's see if we can see it.
Australopithecus. Type in Australopithecus and send it so that we know that you're there.
Okay.
I was going to say auspicious, but I don't know how to verify the spelling.
I think.
I see something in the chat.
Oh, good.
Yep, there we go. I'm watching Deborah Fourier. Okay, cool. Thank you, Deborah, because I had no clue if anyone could even comment or not. I was just looking to see if there was any settings problems.
I want to state, I think one super major positive development that's going to come out of this, I hope anyway, is based on the diligent work on the ground of some people like Rebecca Shepard at Stanford E and Jane Scarf, her sidekick or friend, you know. They do amazing work, as you know, on the Canadian Bill of Rights, educating people, and they put out, I believe, hundreds of flyers, at least, to truckers and educating, tell them why we should be using our Canadian Bill of Rights, you know. And I think going forward, as you guys know enough about Canadian Bill of Rights, I think that's going to help truckers immensely and just further empower them and hopefully help them, you know, continue to just be courageous and understand and fight for their human rights. And I think that's a great thing going forward. Don't you?
If that's happening, yeah.
It is happening, yeah. And yet there was some organization, and Jane didn't know the name of it, but apparently there were distractions where, of course, organizers were literally trying to put the charter inside, giving it to truck drivers. And now, but Jane and Rebecca did so much work that most truck drivers are understanding, taking the Canadian Bill of Rights knowledge in, and they're saying, no, charter's garbage. We don't want it. So that's good.
Good. Yeah, because the whole thing with the charter is we're no longer under that charter anyway. So I don't know what good it is. But
well, Justin wants you to think that we are because he uses it with his intellectually bankrupt government and said so on a video, right? That the charter, he can override our rights with the charter. Well, screw you, Justin. We're not going to move.
No, that was taken out of text. That was an article. That was a story that he was defending a Muslim school teacher who was admonished in Quebec because of her headgear. So he was saying that my father, when he made the charter, didn't want that loophole that the provinces could override the charter and do this certain thing to take rights away from somebody, right?
Oh, interesting.
So someone took that small section of video where he said about the charters leaves the loophole, says we can the majority can take away the rights of the minority. But that's exactly what he's doing. And that's why it was so appropriate that they took that little clip and excluded the rest of that garbage, because that's all it was. Him saying that one school teacher who's new to Canada is more important than every other fucking Canadian. And he's going to override our rights, which he plans on doing, right? And he's been doing with these vaccines and all these mandates and all this bullshit he's pulling.
Yeah.
So that section of video was taken from a different story that I did a video explaining all this, but nobody watches my videos anymore. But they took that. It's convenient that they did that. And I said in the next video, I said, look, this is what this goof is doing to us right now. Yet he claims he's fighting and using the charter for a school teacher, but he's using it against the rest of Canada.
Yeah.
He's a fucking
Thanks for doing the video.
Oh, you're welcome. That's just, It pisses me off because someone said I used it out of context. I said, no, I didn't. I used exactly what he's doing to us as it was filmed. And, you know, like I said, cut out all the bullshit about the school teacher. And that's exactly what he's doing to us. He's taking away our rights because the majority are vaccinated and demand that instead of shaving their their fucking wool off and fucking waking the hell up, they'd rather see us all injected with that same poison that they've been injected with. That's just not going to happen. They can give me one in my dead fucking body after they shoot me, but they're not putting any fucking needles in me. The only needle goes in me every week is my fucking estrogen, and my sister gives me that shit. Not some doctor or nurse. I know what's in that needle. I put it in there myself, right?
Good.
But no one should be forced. There's a body sovereignty that, you know, it goes with this whole Nuremberg 2.0 thing that everyone's all excited about. This is all being run, from what I can tell, on common law, which is not recognized by the civil system, which is in control. Okay, the civil system has the military and the police and the courts backing it. The common law has nothing backing it. So they're doing all this almost as a mock trial. It's almost like Kevin Annett and his cult of Canada, right? And he's like some king or something, but they found all these people guilty, the Queen and Trudeau and all these different people. No one's ever seen a day in court or a day in jail. It's all fucking, you know what it is? It's good intentions with no fucking teeth. Common law, fucking, you know, all that bullshit. You know, I'm looking into right now something called natural law, and that they are building a parallel system with parallel medical and parallel education and parallel stores and stuff. That's opposite of the one we're being shunned away from. So that I'm looking into being a part of, because that I see as a solution. But all these other people that are doing common law and this whole Nuremberg 2.0 thing, I've lost all faith in it until I see something, because the judge, they interviewed the judge and he did his introduction. He kept mentioning common law. Then they brought this lawyer in who, well, she used to be a lawyer. She's been mostly an activist lately. And she's talking about common law, common law, common law. Well, common law has no recognition within the civil system that we are currently under. So,
well, I thought it was interesting, though. Jane did say once that after World War I believe, there was a lot of thought given, how does Canada enshrine and sort of make their common law rights more robust and enforceable? And as you know, later on, we did get that Canadian Bill of Rights, and we had an applied Bill of Rights beforehand. But I don't understand about the civil part that you mentioned. I know I should know more about the minutiae of the law, but I don't. I'm trying.
Well,
but I know a lot about Canadian Bill of Rights.
From what I understand, with common law, they create their own jury, they create their own judges, they create their own government. And these are all just people that have been involved in it. They're not necessarily qualified any more than Trudeau and all his band of fucking merry losers are all unqualified. But they're working within a system that's not recognized. There's the common law system, and then there's the civil system. What we are under, that has the police and the military and the courts and the government's support, is the civil system, which is called de facto. Okay. Our country is not a country. Our country is a corporation, and this corporation is run by a de facto government. They are actually not our government. We recognize them as our government by paying our taxes, by paying, you know, all this other crap, by listening to their system and living under their system. We are encouraging them to enslave us. They are a de facto government.
Yes, I've
what
said
we
that
want is a de jure government. But the whole de jure thing seems to fall under common law. I never did get a chance. They were supposed to come on live with me and explain shit, and then they fucking cowered it out. But de jure just means that it's elected by the people, for the people, and can be removed by the people if there's a problem. This de jure government can't go behind their fucking back and change the law like Harper did. So we can't even unseat a prime minister now. his own party members have to do it.
Wow.
And I think the opposition party can also be involved. But understand, it's confusing. I understand that. It took me a while to and I'm still trying to figure shit out because no one's really explained this whole common law system. I did videos about, I've done videos. I'm sorry. I'm working on a video that involves common law and people who've gotten away with shit because they've said, look, I'm not a man or a woman. I'm just a person and shit like this. And this guy argued with the cops for 45 minutes to an hour and they let him go. And he had no fucking plates on his car. He did not provide a driver's license. And he said, look, I don't have to. I'm not under your law. Right.
Oh, I remember that one.
Yeah. And they actually let him go. And there's another one with cops trying to come on someone's property. And they're like, no, not happening. You're from a different system. I'm under common law, and I'm saying you need to get the fuck off my property. Right? So basically, the civil system, when it comes up against common law, standing up to it, it does back down. But usually it'll come back like a tiger, like the health department's been doing with people who have gone against the mandates and all this shit, or they shut their businesses down, right?
Yeah.
So, and I'm not even talking about Adam Scully. I'm talking about legitimate businesses that have legitimate licenses and legitimately pay storefront fees and shit. But that's the whole thing. The common law, I just don't understand how it can work if it's got no teeth, right? But the civil system has been seen backing down from it. So it must have some validity, but it's not being enforced because they don't have the police and the military backing them or the justice system. Right. So these are the kind of things that I'm still trying to figure out. But I know natural law, they're building their actual own system. Everything. Right. So, and that'll be a parallel system that you won't be shunned from, whether you're vaccinated or unvaccinated, or whether you're masked or unmasked. You can shop, you can get medical help, you can get your kids into school without being forced to wear a fucking diaper on their face. And like Keck knew a girl whose child was forced to wear a bloody diaper as his face was bleeding. And they forced him to put this dirty thing back on his face. And I think he got some kind of infection. No, not Pierre Polybee. That girl, that mother with her son.
Oh, that's the video. I let Kaylin tell her story on my platform that day. And her son had knocked a tooth out and was bleeding profusely. And the stupid teacher put that face diaper over the face.
Yeah.
Breathing in their own carbon dioxide, as she explained, for hours and never called the mother. And she got interviewed on Rebel News for that one.
Yeah, I saw that. So that's the kind of shit that's going to be avoided by having an actual real system. But that, again, that's not common law. That's called natural law. And it's something I'm going to be getting into. I'm going to be starting my my Zoom meetings with them on Tuesday to possibly become a part of it. I just want to see what it's all about. But it looks like it's a good possible solution. But
you keep mentioning system. I know I'm getting off track here. I'll just briefly say Dr. Shiva is all about system science, showing you that we got to understand system science. The whole universe evolves around a system. You have an input, output, always a disruption, and he teaches system science every week. And he thinks only maybe 15,000 elites in the world really understand system science. Once you understand it, you'll never get caught between the left and the right. You'll always understand and be able to see the not so obvious establishment, right? Things like that. Yeah. But I know you're already there, so it's great.
And there is no right. The right is just something that the left made up, so they look like they have somebody to fight. Oh. Basically, it's the leftist douchebags against the rest of society. They can't consider the rest of society right just because they don't agree with them, right?
Yeah.
So they created the word, oh, you're from the right because we're from the left. No, you're from the left because you're leftist douchebags, and we are society. and we all try and get along together, and without whining and crying about every frickin' issue, especially at this trucker protest. This really pisses me off that they're bringing trans issues into it. When I know a lot of the people that are involved. I know truckers that are involved. I know protesters. All of them treated me just fine.
Right.
No problems at all with any of them. I don't understand. Apparently, somebody that had a rainbow flag got accosted by someone, but they don't know for sure if it was someone from the rally. It was just, I don't know. They were probably acting like a goofus or a doofus and got told, smarten the fuck up. And then they got all offended and ran to the fucking cops saying they were accosted.
Probably.
So that's the only thing I can come across. Some trans people are so stupid. I don't blame people for seeing us the way they do, but we're not all that way.
Of course.
And, I've had no real problem. I get mispronounced here and there, but that's everywhere. It's not just in the protests. So,
sure.
It just happens. But I mean, if they look for reasons to be offended. Oh, hi, how are you? Oh, you just offended me. I don't like the word hi. That's what they do. Go ahead and laugh, Jason. That's what they do. Leftist douchebags look for any reason they can to be offended. A shirt, the color of your shirt, anything, right?
Is it all about political correctness, in other words, or?
Well, that's the theme that they use, but it's all about disruption and division.
I see. Disruption, division, yeah. The
more people are offended, the more division it causes. If some straight guy, let me just put it this way. Some normal person is accused of being a racist because they noticed that somebody was black. That doesn't make them a racist, because that you're seeing what you see and you're reporting what you see. That person is not white, they're black. Doesn't make you a racist, but to the left, you're a fucking racist. You understand? Because you see colors. You understand what I'm saying? So they do shit. They play games and words and they double speak and all this bullshit just to cause division. And it's all about division. That's their only goal. That's what Soros pays them to do. Divide society and use issues, legitimate issues, the wrong way to confuse everybody, because everyone will be going, what the fuck? Like we all do when the leftists speak. Right?
Yeah.
I do. I even shake my head sometimes and think, why am I still alive? Why couldn't I have died last when that accident that I had? Because this is too fucking stupid for me to comprehend. Mm-hmm. Jason, I come from a time where the sky was blue and there was two genders and they were called male and female. Mm-hmm. And common sense ruled the land. And if you didn't follow common sense, you got a cuff upside the head until you did. That was called tough love. Learning respect for your elders. Sometimes you took a slap upside the head. But today, it's all changed. And you can't hit a kid. You can't discipline a kid. You can't even, take away their toys or something, or you're an abuser. If you disagree that they're transgender, even though they've never shown a sign of it ever, they've never worn a female shirt or, it's shown any indication, or maybe wore male clothing or whatever. They've never shown any indication they're transgender. All of a sudden come home from school and go, guess what? I'm transgender. They disagree with that. They can lose that child and or go to jail under Ontario law. That was amended by someone called Ben Levin, who is a fucking pedophile, who forced his daughters and his wife to have sex with him and in front of him.
Oh my God.
Asshole. He's a pure pedophile, and he's involved with other people that are really, really bad. Okay.
Is he in prison now? I hope
No,
so.
He's writing law, buddy. He wrote rewrote Bill 89. Are you familiar with that bill? That's the child protection bill. And he changed all of it. And now parents can actually lose kids for trying to protect them. Lose kids for trying to educate them. And lose kids for trying to show concern that their mental status might not be correct. and ask that they be looked at, oh no, they're abusive parents and they can lose their child under that law. You got to read Bill 89, maybe do a video about it. It'll blow your mind.
Okay.
Right? You ever heard of, I don't know if Keck has heard of that. Keck, have you heard of Bill 89? Did you ever watch my video? Probably not. He doesn't watch my videos. Anyway, I did a video about it, and all the links are there. But yeah, Ben Levin's he's a pedophile. And you know,
why doesn't he get convicted?
he was.
Why is he free now?
Because he didn't, I don't think he even got any time out of it.
Oh my God, what's wrong with this society?
Called leftist judges.
Gee, yeah. Sick.
I have the PDF for his court case somewhere, which I think has sentencing and stuff in it. I don't think he got anything.
And he sexually abused his own daughters?
Daughters and wife. Yeah.
Unbelievable. What a creep.
And then Kathleen Wynne has him rewrite, reamend Bill 89. So our province is all fucked up. So then Doug Ford comes in and goes, oh, when I get in, I'm changing that whole corrupted sex ed program, right? He come in, he tweaked it a little bit, so now it's even worse than it was before. And he's done nothing since. He fell through on his promises. So I don't know. It's just, you know, our whole system's corrupted. But I'm just saying that George Soros pays people like Black Lives Matter and Antifa and LGBT and all these, the Alphabet Crew and all these douchebags to disrupt and divide and cause problems. And it's working because everyone in society is pissed off at everyone. And if you support this group, you're a scumbag. And if you support that group, you're a scumbag. And so, I don't know. It's just, and now they got everyone divided over masks and over COVID and over vaccines.
Support the truckers. Support the truckers.
Exactly. And that's what the truckers are trying to stop, is all this mandates and the bullshit that's been going on. And I really hope they win. And I support them and their cause. And anyone there supporting their cause, I thank you all because you are making a difference. We are saying what's going on in Ottawa. Keck, listen. Oh, my God. Where do we find this guy? Oh, anyway, so that's what their whole gig is. And I hope they stay until change is made. But it looks like the Ottawa cops are going out of their way, using society to go against the truckers, creating problems where there were none, because even cops were on video saying, no, there's been no problems, no violence, nothing like that. Yet all of a sudden, the truckers and the protesters are such a threat.
You knew that was coming. They got to put that narrative and that image to people, because they're feeling threatened now. The truckers are winning at this point, and we are going to win. I said in my speeches, Ellie, we're going to end the mandates. You can't hold, and Trudeau can't hold Canadians prisoners that we can't fly outside Canada. I said that is going to end, and I pointed very, very soon. Of course, the audience loved that, and it will happen very soon.
Let's hope so.
It was a real battle, but it will happen. And I said the vaccine passport, that one gets us truthers, freedom fighters excited, of course, the most. And we have to succeed on that too, and we will very soon. I believe the vaccine passport and crush that as well.
Yeah. Well, it's one battle at a time. But if they can get rid of the mandates, that just makes things a lot easier, because people are being refused vital services because they won't stick poison in their body. Like, what the fuck is going on? How can anyone dare question what these truckers are doing, knowing that that's what's going on?
That's right. The finance minister, oh boy, I forget his name. He's going to run for prime minister. What's his name? Oh God.
Oh, Cornelius or whatever.
Yeah.
Or
think
Derek
that's-
Sloan. Or
No,
Hillary.
not
They all got their own party. Fuck.
Yeah, I know. Not Derek Sloan. He was born in Calgary, but he's bilingual. Clean shaven guy. Jeez, wears glasses. He's got a French name, and I forget his name. Anyway, I'm butchering it. Well, hopefully one of the comments will come in on that.
What, Bernier?
No. Oh, I wrote his name down. It's a big, huge story that he's announced that he's going to run against
Okay.
Justin Trudeau. I'm sorry, I forget his name. I'll have to get it for another show. Anyway, he was asked something by mainstream media. They were hoping that he would say, that he doesn't support the truckers or something. And he said, no, I support the protests, and I'll give coffee to the truckers. Like, that's the answer, that is the right answer from a politician. And when a politician talks like that,
Yeah.
we can back those kind of statements and know that kind of politician, that answer, he's not going to be an evil person. I don't think like even close to a Justin Trudeau. And I think he could do very good for this country, at least in terms of a politician, for what that's worth.
You'll have to send me his name. I haven't heard anything about anyone.
Yeah, I'm looking, it's on a piece of paper. I wrote it down the other night.
No, Keck's coming back now. Oh, brother. Hello, Keck.
Hey,
How are you?
my phone's a little bit recharged, but I figured I could manage to come back to get my 3 minutes.
Nah, he's just using us for your 3 minutes, you fucking.
And for the record, Pierre Polyev has my vote.
That's him. Thank you. Pierre Polyev.
Polyev. Okay.
He's got my vote too. Well done. Yeah, he's brilliant. My friend said, of course, he would crush Justin Trudeau in a speech. He's very, very intelligent man, great credentials, and I think he's the real deal. What's that?
I kind of like Leslie Lewis myself.
Oh,
She's
who is that?
The lady, the girl, the doctor. She talks a lot of common sense, and she actually, I think, would be an awesome first female prime minister. Actually, second, because Kim Campbell was thrown in there when someone stepped down, but basically, or something happened, and she got put in as an interim for 2 years. But to be the first elected female prime minister.
No.
Awesome.
You better have a strong jock strap.
Candace Owens.
No, I don't like her.
I mean, you don't like her. She makes a great
Candace
prime
Owens.
minister.
Oh no, I thought you meant Candace Bergman. Sorry.
She wouldn't be
Candace
that
Owens,
bad. But...
Yeah, but she's not Canadian, and she can't run in Canadian politics.
We'll just let Dominion Voting make that decision.
Dr. Sheba will show you Candace Owens is kind of like a drifter. I like some of what she has to say.
I don't think she is. I think she's very credible.
I don't know if she even used the term drifter, but pardon?
I watched her when she had her YouTube channel. She was amazing. She got amazing insight, and that's why all these news places want her, because she's that conservative that can fight back. That doesn't back down from anyone. Candace Owens.
No, Candace Owens is the woman who's running for vice president of America. Currently, that doesn't mean she can't be prime minister.
Harris. What are you talking about?
Say again?
That's Kamala Harris, bonehead.
No, Trump in 2024.
Oh,
I said running for.
Okay,
Trump Owens,
Candace
2024.
Owens right now has TV shows. She's been in news shows. And
I listen to Candace Owens.
I think she'd be an awesome runner, like what do you call the sub president, whatever you call vice president.
Prime minister. We don't have we.
She can't run for prime minister. She's not Canadian.
Don't be racist.
She's not Canadian. And that's not racist. That's
a Canadian is a Canadian as a Canadian if they're vaccinated.
She has not got a citizenship. She has not lived here. She is American. I don't want her running Canada.
Canadian is a Canadian.
I would rather have Leslie Lewis be the first elected leader of the PCs and possibly the first legal elected prime minister of Canada. She would smoke Justin Trudeau, man.
What about Michelle Rumpel?
That fucking sellout bitch. I wouldn't let her fucking. Oh,
Why
man.
does everyone keep calling her? Like, I know a lot of people have a problem
Yeah.
with her, but I don't know why.
Seriously, do you ever listen to her? Have you ever
Yes.
gone? Have you
I've
ever
been
gone to the
inspired by
government?
her.
Hey, have you ever gone to the government website and go to her page and see all the bills that she's voted yes to? You
Really?
better go do that before you tell me she's not a
As an
fucking
example.
C51, C76, C30,
What are they?
C40, it was a C45. She voted
What
yes
do
to
these
a
bills
lot of
do? Do they take away my birthday?
no, and they don't
Okay,
take away.
fill me in. Am I there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
So anyway, she's go to the government website, look her name up, and then you can see where all the bills that she's voted on and what she's voted yay and nay on or didn't vote on. It'll tell you all of them.
I'll take your word
She's
for it. What
voted
did
in
she
a
vote
lot of
for that would offend
legislation
me?
that did take our rights away. Yet she's sitting there fucking gaslighting Justin Trudeau and the Liberal Party for doing the same fucking shit she did.
I don't know
She's
what
no
she did.
better than Justin Trudeau calling people this and that when he's this and that. He's a fucking misogynist. He's not a
Yes.
fucking feminist. He called a movement that had over half women in it at the time misogynist. Does he know what that
You've
word?
convinced me. Pierre Trudeau is a bad prime minister.
No, Justin, I said. Pierre was horrible. Pierre was who hijacked the Liberal Party. Okay. That's when the Liberal Party went, ooh, and crashed into this fucking leftist douchebag paradise. And every prime minister that's been in as a liberal since, like Chrétien and all these motherfuckers, have carried on the same treason that Pierre started instead of saying enough's enough.
But he has our vote. Pierre Poilievre has our vote.
Pierre Poilievre, I don't know. I don't know if I want him as prime minister.
I look at the alternative, right? Oh, except for maybe Bernier.
Yeah, then give him a few years. What's that?
Except for maybe Bernier. I guess it depends on who has
I would trust Bernier
a better chance
more than I would Poilievre.
And maybe we can get some of those people that voted conservatives not to split the vote this time.
The whole split the vote thing's a fallacy. If the PCs were so good,
every vote that went to the conservatives could have gone to the PPC.
Yeah, I know. So people stop voting PC and start voting PPC. Sheesh.
Okay.
Max.
Well, no, we should do our 3 minutes.
No, hear me out. The amount of votes that Max got in this last election, according to mainstream media, wouldn't have swayed the fucking PC's lead or anything either way. They didn't have enough votes, according to mainstream media. So how did anyone split the fucking vote?
I don't know how you're going to edit all of that out.
I'm not. I'm posting this as is.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to say.
I'm not sitting there editing. I did last week because you were swearing so much.
I swore twice. And by the way, I said the F word and you didn't.
I must have missed it because you were swearing so much I couldn't keep up with it, Kev. Fuck, man. I think Jason said shit once or shit servers or something like that. I had to edit that out because he's a badass. But no, Keck, you were the swearer, and then you were the one who warned us about swearing before the broadcast. Which is why I edited it. You're a clown. You should have a little gesture hat with all the little bells on it and shit. Fuck. Go ahead, take your 3 minutes, Keck. Keck.
Uh-oh.
Did I hurt his feelings?
You must have.
You want to do your 3 minutes first and get him jealous or what?
Sure.
Okay.
Just again, thanks for having me on. It's been an amazing 2 weekends.
He's gone. Sorry.
Supporting the truckers. Although I hear a lot of laughs in the background. And but no, it's been. Let's keep it up, keep the momentum going. And as much as we talk some politics today, let's try to continue this bottoms up revolutionary movement here in Canada. We've started, as you know, a trucker convoy revolution around the world. They're copycatting us Canadians, and that's okay. And we're showing the rest of the world how it's done, as they say, fighting for a country, being patriotic, as I said yesterday, so many words. So let's continue it, and we are winning, and we're going to win the battle.
Anything you want to say about the
Freedom.
Bill of Rights before you end your 3 minutes?
Well, as I said earlier, yes, let's use our Canadian Bill of Rights, of course, that shows that it recognizes, as you know, and protects our human rights, fundamental freedoms. And I did bring it up yesterday. I hope you'll listen to my speech, Ellie, and tell me what you think of both speeches sometime. Okay. And truckers now have that. They're armed with more knowledge now of that amazing and miraculous legislation of their human rights, this legislation that really helps protect that and their fundamental freedoms. And you watch, truckers are going to help crush the establishment, of course, with the rest of us.
Yeah, it's
awesome.
Like I said, I hope so. I'm praying that they.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it. We just got a few petty tyrants.
Are you going back to Ottawa at all, or are you just covering it from a distance?
You know, that's a great question. I wanted to go, but I focused on Queen's Park because I had a head cold. It's a miracle my voice held up, Ellie. But I would like to go to Ottawa, and why not? I think it'll be happening next weekend. I would think the truckers will be there next weekend. But we'll see. And if they are, I hope so too. And if they are, if God permits, we love you, God, then I'll be there. If not, I'll be at Queen's Park.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna say Keck's not gonna be doing his 3 minutes because I think he's had technical difficulties again.
No, I think you hurt his feelings.
Did I hurt his feelings? Oh, well.
No, who knows?
Good thing it's only Keck. Anyway, so what I wanted to say was, Deborah, you may have had a question. What about his brother speaking out? What do you think? Okay, Kyle Kemper. I don't like him. I think he's a fucking douchebag who's trying to cover for his brother. Because it's funny, because one video he's saying, yeah, he's such an asshole, and he's this and that. And then the next video I see, he's like, oh, he's such a leader and an inspiration. I wanted to, be like him. Didn't want to be him, but I wanted to be like him and all this. Totally buttering up his brother, who's a corrupt piece of shit, and his other two brothers who are corrupted pieces of shit. Even though one's dead now, like he had problems too. So everyone thinks the Trudeaus are such a great family. I would like to see not one of them ever elected into power again, because that family bloodline is corrupted. I mean, mentally corrupted, criminally corrupted in every possible way. The Trudeau family are nothing but trailer park trash, and they don't deserve to be in politics, let alone running the country, because little Trudeau has just run this country into the arms of the UN and into the fucking toilet. Okay, so that's what I had to say about Mr. Kyle Kemper. Don't birds of a feather flock together. Well, yeah, but he wants to come across as he's one of us. And I don't think in a way of controlled opposition, because he's not really trying to lead anything. He's just trying to lead people into thinking that, his brother might be having problems or whatever. Yeah, he's got problems. He's a fucking ass. He's a leftist douchebag who's part of the WEF junior fucking globalist squad. And yeah, one-way ticket to Gitmo. You got that right, Cameron. So basically, and I just want to thank everyone who showed up in St. Thomas yesterday with their cars, their trucks, with their great attitudes, with their kindness. We had a great time, and I'm sure London did as well. London's a really amazing city. So both of us held convoys yesterday, and I'm hoping that's why the truckers, I'm hoping will be in Ottawa next week, so we can do another one of those here next week. And because it was fun. I had a great time, and I'd like to see it grow. So I think it will, because we got a lot of support this week. And I'll be out front of City Hall this week with the protesters at different times, protesting and, supporting the Convoy 2020, the Freedom Convoy 2022, and praying to God that they do achieve their goals and spare all of us, not just themselves. They will spare all of us mandatory vaccines and mandatory masks and mandatory social distancing. It's like a lot of people are saying, we just need to learn to live with this. It's just another flu.
Exactly.
Protect the ones who need protecting. Yes, definitely. Any elderly people or anyone vulnerable through comorbidities, yes, protect them. But don't segregate all of fucking society to stop something that's no different than any other flu. Do you agree, Jason?
Absolutely. And if you really want protection, as Dr. Shiva and a few others have said, get a hazmat suit.
Buy a condom, for crying out loud.
Yeah. And by the way, if any truckers see this live, Ellie, I know you got a lot of platforms, and we'll eventually do other podcasts and grow this channel. But and when I see the truckers, I'm going to tell them, please, please do not trust Daniel Bulford. He did a press conference recently. He said some good things about the truckers. You know, he did say that, you know, they're not pissing all over the place. So they're not, you know, vandalizing the John A. McDonald statue that was corporate media were trying to say that truckers were doing, etc. But Daniel Bulford, I believe, in my opinion, and again, I've discussed possibly with some military buddies, he has controlled opposition. He's a charter boy. He did a whole press conference, as I told you, Ellie, before, on the charter, pumping up that communist-friendly document. He was a former bodyguard, he tells you, for Justin Trudeau. So let's take a step back. Let's use a little bit of critical thinking. You can't trust a former bodyguard for Justin Trudeau. And he hasn't brought any truth and transparency about any secrets and what the hell is going on with Justin Trudeau. And Daniel Bulford will have some top secret clearance. What the hell is he doing? Spouting off. And Rebecca, Jane Scarf, and other people, they know it. They're keeping an eye on these people. Daniel Bulford, I don't think can be trusted. He's growing a beard, I believe, to try to look like one of the truckers now. You know how it works, just like Justin Trudeau used to have a beard. It's all part of the psyop, man. Daniel, shut your mouth, dude. I don't think you care much about our Canadian freedoms, dude, or you wouldn't be pumping up the charter. You should be discussing the Canadian Bill of Rights. That's why I'm hard on you, Daniel. You know better. Anyway, thanks for listening. Hopefully truck drivers will listen on that.
We're going to end this because we're 7 minutes over, but that's okay. We have opinions, and that's, you know, and people our viewers had opinions too. And, you know, sorry, who's that? Oh, Daniel Bulford, Deborah. He's the bodyguard of Justin Trudeau, who's apparently stepped forward and realized the error of his ways. I don't know. You know what?
Yeah, he waited.
Aside from him pumping up the charter, I just find it fishy. It took him 2 years to have a conscience. That's my only real issue with him. Okay.
Yeah.
And people defend him saying, well, he was probably scared to come forward. No, if he's brave enough to do it now, he should have been brave enough to do it when he knew this was all starting to go fucked up 2 years ago.
Yeah. And so, former sniper, former tactical division, pretended that he cried in 2 speeches. You don't cry in speeches when you're former tactical and, you know, former bodyguard, particularly a sniper as he is. It doesn't happen. That was part of the psyop. He's putting it on, and the audience ate it up, and, you know, pretending that he really cares about Canadian freedoms and civil liberties. And I don't buy it. And my military friends, let's just say, they don't buy it.
Yeah,
maybe
no,
I'll just put it as a maybe.
I don't buy the fact that it, like
They
I
don't
said, it
buy
took him so long. But
yeah.
Anyway, so we're gonna end this before we go astray. And Keck's gonna have to edit out 8 minutes now, 9 minutes now. So anyway, I want to thank everyone who's joined us, all 5 people, and I can name them all, but I don't want to name them out. So thank everyone who joined us. Thank anyone who watches after this. God bless you. And Jason, thank you. And Keck, thank you. I know you had technical difficulties. But
I only charge $100 an hour to be on.
Okay. Well, yeah, put that on account. Keck ain't got no money.
Oh, damn.
Keck's your financier. Anyway.
All right. All right.
Jason.
I'll put in.
Okay, people, I'm going to end this right now. I just wanted to say that we are an epic time in history, and we all need to be careful about what we believe and you know what we're seeing and stuff. So you look at everything and kind of scrutinize a little more than you might used to have. because right now the biggest deceptions are going on, and you got to know what side of history you're on. Okay, have a great night. We'll chat soon. Bye.